Let's walk out. Let's not talk about even black businesses.
So the question on the table is, there's a lot of belief that black women believe that black men don't have their back. What's your take on that?
I think I take a different approach to it. I think that let me first applaud you, black, beautiful men around this table. I appreciate what we have here in this dialogue, and I know that this generation of black men. I'm just going to speak for this generation. I don't see that level of commitment. I don't see you guys, wanting to be married or pressed to have, a wifey. I don't see that. But I think we as black women, we're so strong. We're so strong because we have to be. It ain't that we want to be. This world, we have to be. We got to be mama. We got to be daddy. We got to take them to school, and we got to do everything for them. We're out here kind of fighting this battle alone. So we have to be stronger than we want to be. And I hear her strength. I hear her pain at the same time. But I married an older man, just to kind of bring some context to this. I married an older man who showed me that I could take the pants off. I don't have to be him. I could surrender. And I could let him be the strong, powerful man that God...
You just cussed a lot of modern-day black women. You said you're going to surrender to your...
Surrender and submit are two different things. Surrender, I'm gonna stop trying to I don't have to do this alone. Mm-hmm. I don't have to be... I can trust you to take care of me. Mm-hmm. I can trust you to protect me. And that's something I had to learn how to do, because I am that strong woman. I raised my two sons. I was a single mom. I'm college educated. I can do this. Mm-hmm. I really don't need you, bruh, but I want you. Yeah. So in order for me to want you, in order for you to be the man that you need to be to me, I'm going to have to take a step back. And I'm going to have to surrender and let you be the man. And me, I'm going to have to undergird you in this process. I'm going to have to be there and be your rock. Exactly. And be your soft place to land when it's hard out here. So I think we as black women got to learn a whole other set of skills in order to make our men want to marry us and wife me up,
Baby D, come to you, bro. So they blame the hip hop community. It's hip hop fault. Mm-hmm. Y'all the ones who got these brothers not want to commit to the women, and y'all calling them baby mamas and all that type of stuff. What's your take on that?
I think it's more like what she said. It's all about how the package comes to you. Okay, so if the package coming this way, that's how you accept it. If you feel what I'm saying, I'm cleaning it up. You see, I feel like that. I respect all women. I love them to death. My mom raised me single, two brothers, raised us on her own. My dad he been left. So I applaud all black women just for the strength that they have inside to raise us as black men. Okay, but you have some females that they don't have that confidence within themselves to where when a guy approach them a certain way, they accept that. So if you're gonna accept the way that I approach you and you're gonna accept that, then the way that I talk to you, that I treat you, then that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get what you only accept. So if you look for that strong man, or you looking for that person that be a rocker that empower you, I feel like that's what you will find. But if you in the club and you looking for some, just in the club, you gonna find in the club.
But I teach you how to treat me.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But can I add something to that also?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about interracial racism. We can go all the way back and look at Jet magazine and Ebony magazine, and we were talking about some songs this morning in the 50s when this black get back and red stick around and brown and all that kind of thing. And when we look at just the past, and let's just go back to the 50s, and let's look at the Lena Hornes and et cetera, et cetera. Every black man, not every black man, but many black men who were successful, when they chose wives that looked just like me. Mm-hmm. When you went over to Spelman and Fisk, they looked just like me. I had one black man say, "You are the most black red woman I have ever seen in my life." And I have black women who have fought me just because of my color. Black women. See, it's very complex, and that goes to what we call interracial institutionalized racism. The minute we can run from ourselves, we do. We run from our communities, we run from our businesses, we run from ourselves. Right. And we are taught by another system. Now, since we're in this system and we're not going back to Africa, let's just deal with some of those hard questions. But I did want to bring that up. You know, I look how pretty my baby is, and look at their curly hair and that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And if and it's hard to deal with those issues inside because many times we don't want to admit them.
So in essence, that there is some self-infliction of black women, men not supporting it, just based on your example, because like you said, you look at the girl, the baby with the pretty curly hair, and that's what you want. So as a man said, well, in order for me to get that, right? You know, so my point, I want to come to you, Eldridge, because I know that you are in this community and we all have, that's an amazing thing, one thing Baby D mentioned. Most of us as black men will always go back to the fact, hey, I was raised by my mama, my grandmama, and I love them to death. Of course I love and support black women, but that's just not, I don't know, what do you attribute it to? Is it the feminist movement? Is it independence? What do you believe that it is attributed to?
As far as why they say black men don't protect black women, are we saying that? I do feel like, I have my issues with the feminist movement, period. When you do your research, and it's a reason why the womanism movement was started. Because feminism was to empower white women to be like heterosexual white men. Just like the LGBTQ movement is about giving gay white men the same power of heterosexual white men. So black people have always been left out in these sub-movements. And when it comes to that, I feel like, in a sense, brothers do got to step up. Brothers got to step up and show that let's go back to the marriage situation. As a millennial brother, if you go to most older men and we talk about marriage, we don't talk about marriage in a sexy way. You don't see marriage talked about in an amazing way. Every time you talk, I was raised by, Tarzan was in the jungle raised by gorillas. I was in the jungle raised by old players. So what I'm saying is I was in where, bro, take your time. Do what you got to do. Don't rush it. Where are we really hearing people talk about marriage in a very just sexy, attractive way? And especially on a main platform, in a big platform.
When it all boiled down to, I think I mentioned something earlier that we have been culturally conditioned. I remember that this sport announcer made the statement that blacks have been bred to be big, strong, and then he lost his job. But that's a true fact. That is a true fact when you look at slavery. They did breed blacks to be bigger, more sturdy, or whatever they did that literally. But when you look at it, there's a book called Lure and Loathing. And in this book, it talks about this black woman who watched her children, because of their skin color, get treated bad. One of her child came out fair-skinned. She saw her soul being liberated. She put more emphasis on that lighter-skinned child because she saw some hope. But I say all that to say, when you look at the years of conditioning the black people, men were deliberately ostracized, demised before the women.
Right.
And this book talks about even the late doctor of the ISIS. She talks about
Dr. Wilson.
Dr. Wilson. She talks about how there is a physical development for every creature that is natural. But our physical development, natural physical development, has been interrupted. Mm-hmm. And we won't, very few of us have looked to correct that. Mm-hmm. I got married when I was 18. Mm-hmm. And I tell you now, I would have it no other way because I was told certain things you had to do, you wanted to do, you could only do it through the marriage. Mm-hmm. So I got married early.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? But that wasn't the only reason, but that was one of the motivating factors. I couldn't wait any longer. You know? But I had a commitment at an early age I came from a single family, but I think what happened is that I was fortunate not to have been indoctrinated in a system. I'd never been to school.
Yeah, it was.
So I looked at everybody for face value. And I want to get back to this political thing. It bothers me because, again, if all of us voted, it's only 12%.
But that's in America. That's not in Georgia. 33% in Georgia. Black folk.
Okay, 33% in Georgia. Okay. But when the federal laws are made, it's going to be 12%. I don't care if it's 100% in Georgia. When that federal decision is made not to send federal money for the road down here, or for education, that's that 12%. And I'm saying, we have to somehow create a system for us, by us.
Yeah.
We're going to have to. I'm not trying to be separate, but I'm just saying that if we don't, let me ask you, we all know the problem. Do anyone know of anyone that have a drawn-out blueprint and say, look, at the age of 6, our kid going to read this book? In fact, I can tell you the contrary. Of all the black colleges, there's no prerequisite for black history. None. It's something that you have to graduate. In all the black colleges, there's nothing. Now, you go to any European college, wherever, now it's an elective. You can get an elective in it. But you go to anywhere in the world, you're going to have European history. It's a prerequisite. You got to have it. So somewhere we got to start with developing our system from a very infancy stage to see how we're going to, Dr. Wilson said, we have to be debriefed. We have never been debriefed from slavery yet. And I think that's my point.
We got.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Mr.
Yeah, that's a
Jump in.
little bit not factual. When I went to Clark College, and so we didn't have black history, but we had a reading list that was all black authors.
But what
Whether the prerequisite.
It was required. The reading list was required before you got to school. That's what and so everything. So they didn't call it black
you
history.
Went to school
You had to read it in high school.
30 plus years ago, I'm assuming, correct?
More than that.
I
What
figured
I'm saying,
so.
right?
I'm being
So
generous.
what I'm saying is, for him to say it never happened, it did happen.
No,
It changed.
I didn't say it never happened.
It changed.
I didn't say it
It
never
changed.
happened.
Yeah, it changed.
It's not in the school.
You are absolutely
Right.
right. You are absolutely right.
To that. So
I want to say that. I spoke with the Michael Lomax is the head of this thing. What's it called?
UNCF.
Right, United Negro
College.
Fund. And they were trying to get black folk more engaged in the political process. So I asked the question, of all these black colleges around here, if you make it a prerequisite to teach civics, you can't graduate unless you have it. Then every black kid going to a black school will at least know some of the process.
What was his answer?
It was evaded.
Did he tell you where he get his corporate money from?
That's exactly
All
what
right,
I'm
okay.
proud of. And see, and that's the problem. I brought that up. See, and I brought that up. See, when we look at all of the reason why we are, to me, in our civic organization, now this is my perspective, we depend so much on corporate money that if you pull it out today, we'll fail tomorrow.
But why we depend on corporate money?
But the thing about
Why does the NAACP depend on corporate money?
well,
Our dues, annual dues, are $30 a year.
but
But
I think
and
you
in
missed the
Atlanta,
point.
we should have
If you sell
10,000
Kool-Aid,
members.
don't
But
try
we got
to
1,000.
twist my arm to buy your Kool-Aid when I don't even like it.
May I say?
So it has to have something that attracts me. And I think most of our social organizations now they remove the economics. How much money we spend on this election? I would much rather we save that money to give grants to these businesses. And I tell you, in a matter of 4 years, we wouldn't be sitting here with the amount of money we spend on the election cycle. You see what I'm saying?
There's a mother lode waiting on us right now, and it's the African American Church. It's one of the biggest businesses and biggest
That's right.
schemes and scams, and I go to church because we're talking about accountability, et cetera.